We hear the term or the phrase, you got to learn to love yourself, you got to practice self love. And I don't think that people really understand how frustrating it is to hear that, especially since nobody's telling you how to do that. And so we're going to be kind of talking not about self love today, but we're going to be talking about self acceptance, which, in my opinion, is self love. And acceptance is a really important part of the unraveling journey. So, that just being said, you guys, let's just jump in. What's up, guys? It's your girl Elle, and welcome back to this episode of Unraveled. We're on episode 4, where we're going to be talking about all things acceptance. This is going to look like accepting where you are, accepting everything that we did in the last module that we had to take responsibility for, and learning to accept that and accept where we are, accept who we are, and learn forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others, because forgiveness is a form of acceptance. And so we're going to be diving in and we're going to be talking about acceptance and forgiveness. I'm feeling a little offbeat today. I'm going through some things personally, and I'm not feeling the greatest, but I am trying to show up. So hopefully we make it through this video with not too many hiccups. So first and foremost, I really do believe that self-love is self-acceptance. And if you can't accept yourself, then you can't love yourself. And it's really difficult to accept ourselves when we have been told by society and our parents and media and just everything that this is what good looks like, this is what bad looks like, this is what unlovable looks like, this is what lovable looks like. And so we have so many parts of ourselves, and we'll be talking about parts actually, I think, in the next episode. But we have so many parts within us that we have deemed unlovable, unlikable, ugly, unworthy. And so because somebody else didn't like something about us, we automatically don't like that thing about us, and we disregard it, and we refuse to accept that as a part of ourselves. And I'm really excited for next episode. Because I can't get too much into this without, but learning to really accept ourselves is so important. And I don't want to be touching on that too much today, because we are going to be touching on a lot more of that in the next episode. But I really want to open us to this concept that in order to really love ourselves, we must accept ourselves. And by understanding that, hopefully you can understand what it means to accept. Accepting isn't giving up, right? So when I'm going to tell you that you have to just accept where you are, it's not about defeat. It's not about losing. It's not about giving up. It's about just accepting. Being okay with where you are is the only way to get out of where you are. And so in order for us to move forward in this unraveling journey, because let's be real, you guys, if you've been going in and you've been doing these other modules and you've been doing the work and you've been hitting some really raw spots of going, fuck, like, man, I've kind of been an asshole or a dick my whole life, or I've kind of been doing this thing to myself that's like really hurtful. And you can begin to start hating yourself. I know when I really started to take responsibility and get honest with my life, I really started to hate myself, because I saw what a jerk I was, where I was failing myself, where I was failing others, where I just wasn't being a good person, and it made me feel like shit. But I had to accept the fact that I didn't know better. I didn't know what I didn't know. And although it doesn't excuse my crappy behavior and it doesn't excuse other people's crappy behavior, we can really just go, oh, okay, how could have you done better if you didn't actually know better existed, or if you didn't know a different way? And can you just accept where you are right now? Can you accept who you are and the things that you've done? Forgive yourself and choose to do different. That's the whole point of this Unravel program, is to be choosing your life, choosing to create it, choosing to be it, choosing to feel it, choosing differently. And so can you choose to love and accept yourself and forgive yourself for the wrongs you have committed, first and foremost to yourself, but maybe to others, maybe the part you've played. In last week's episode, we talked about taking stock and replaying some scenarios where you might have gotten into a fight with somebody or had some type of disagreement or a falling out, and really taking responsibility for your part. And when we can look at that, we can start to see how much we've treated ourselves like crap and how much we've started to treat other people like crap. And that makes a person feel like crap. But spiraling and making yourself a bad guy or a bad person because of that isn't the answer. Self-acceptance of where you are, who you are, and forgiving yourself is key. And so through this program, we're understanding that the majority of people are unaware that they have wounds. They're unaware of the patterns in their life. They're unaware of the thoughts in their life. They're unaware that they're creating a lot of their reality. And they're just on autopilot like the rest of us. And so can we not apply this same principle to other people? Now, again, I don't condone abusive behavior. And forgiveness is never actually for the other person. It's always for you, so that you can let it go, so that you don't have to hold on to that pain and that poison within you anymore. So can we learn to accept that other people maybe actually didn't know what they were doing? Can we accept that hurt people, and that sometimes people just don't actually know better, despite what we've been told, despite that everybody says you should know better? But did you know better? Probably not. But you know better now. So why wouldn't that be the same for somebody else? Now, that's not to excuse abusive or harmful behavior, but it does allow you to go, huh, man, a person would really have to be hurting to do something like that, to hurt me like that, or to hurt them like that. And you can think about that. And you can begin to let it go. You can begin to forgive, and not for them, but for you. To have kindness and empathy and compassion in your heart for not only yourselves, but for those who have hurt you. To understand that humans weren't actually designed to hurt each other that way. That through conditioning, through programs, through trauma, through pain that we have experienced. And I know there'll be people saying, well, I was really hurt and I've not hurt people in these ways. Well, we all handle our hurt differently. I don't actually believe there's good people and bad people, because I don't believe in good and bad. And that belief really makes this acceptance and forgiveness journey a lot easier. But I have been on both spectrums. I have been a really bad, shitty person that society would deem a reject and fucking evil. But I've also been the most nurturing, loving, and compassionate and empathetic person I've ever seen. I have been on both spectrums, and I know that when I was being my worst person, I was so not heavenly, that's weird. I was so heavily programmed in my own pain, shrouded in my own hurt from all the people that have abused me my whole life, that I didn't know that I too was being that bully. I had no idea. I was just treating others how I was treated, and I thought it was normal. So I have deep compassion for the murderers, the rapists, the pedophiles, because most of those people were severely abused as children. I mean, severely, like the most disgusting things imaginable were done to those people. And then they grew up monsters. And then what we want to do as a society is either kill them or lock them away forever, instead of actually asking them, where does this pain come from? I'm not asking you to forgive any of those types of people. I'm asking you to forgive yourself. And I'm asking you to forgive the people who have harmed you in your life. And again, not because they deserve it, not because it's for them, but because it's for you. It sets you free. It allows you to move on to the next phase of your own journey. This video is not at all what I thought it was going to turn out to be. I kind of didn't even go over what I wanted to do. I just decided, you know what, I just got to get this done because I'm not doing really good in my life right now, and I'm going through a really difficult time. And so I'm hoping that this is landing for you guys. I really do, because I think and this is why I want you guys to be getting brutally honest, like really fucking honest with yourselves, which is where the module responsibility comes from, is because when we can get really honest and we can look at the bully within us, the murderer within us, the rapist within us, because we all have the capacity. We are humans, and humans are nothing but animals, and we have that capacity within us. And if we can look at those parts of ourselves and get honest, and I'm not saying that any of you have been a rapist or a murderer, but can we look at our inner bad guy? Can we look at the inner bully, the inner person who's not always showed up in this perfect way that we think, that maybe we have been an asshole, that maybe we have been a bully, that maybe we haven't showed up that great. And this is the purpose of that module, is to take responsibility and really fucking look at that, because I promise you, like I said, your shit stinks just as much as everyone else's shit stinks. All of our shit stinks. And I think the reason I wanted that for you guys was because it was in that moment that it allowed me to understand that contrast of like, oh my God, I can be forgiving and accepting of shitty people because I've been a shitty person and I know what it's like and I didn't know better. And I can say that I didn't know better. And I know that most people don't know better. You didn't know better for all the things that you've done, but you know better now because you're learning. And this is where we grow. So we have to learn to accept ourselves. We have to learn to forgive ourselves. And we have to learn to accept others as they are and forgive others. And when I think we have this misconception that acceptance means we have to take these people into our lives and love them. No, no, no. You don't have to love and take anybody into your life that you don't want to. And again, the forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. What I mean when I say accept people where they are is when we hold judgments of other people, what's really happening is we are mirroring, or they're mirroring to us, a part of ourselves that we haven't accepted. So what it is that you see in other people is a hidden part within you that you haven't gotten in touch with yet, that you have within you, that exists within you, and you have not learned to forgive and accept and love that part of yourself. This is every judgment. I mean, every fucking judgment you have of somebody else. I want you to do the practice of turning that mirror and looking at yourself in the mirror and going, where am I judging myself in this? Where do I want what they have? Where do I not accept that part of myself within me? Because judgments are a projection of self. That's actually going to be, I did not realize that, but that's going to be an exercise this week, is every time you judge somebody, whether it's somebody online, somebody you pass in the street, a family member, a friend, doesn't matter, celebrity, I want you to really turn the mirror around and be like, what am I judging within myself? What am I jealous of that they have that I don't have? I really want you to turn that mirror, and I want you to begin to look at that and really look at yourself. Since we're talking about exercises, and I'm just winging this today, another exercise I'm going to get you guys to do is mirror work. And this is going to be every morning or every day, whenever you have time. I want you to look in the mirror, dead in the eye. And for a lot of you, that's going to be really confronting just on its own, is staring yourself directly in the eye. And I mean for like a period of time. And I want you to witness what thoughts you're having about yourself. I want you to witness what's going on up there. And are your thoughts judging of oneself? Are you judging the way you look? Are you judging this exercise? Where can you bring more acceptance into your experience? If you're okay with just looking yourself in the eye, then I want you to move to the next step, which would be, I want you to say something that you like about yourself, whether it's be about your appearance or personality trait, but something that you like about yourself. And I want you to keep finding things that you like about yourself while looking yourself in the eye. And if you're really brave and you think you're ready, then I want you to start saying things that you love about yourself. It sounds easy, but it's actually really fucking hard. I remember when I first started doing this, I had a hard time even just staring at myself and looking at myself in the mirror. But this is what we need to do, because we hold so many judgments of other people, and those judgments are judgments of ourselves. It's our own lack of self-love and self-acceptance and lack of understanding of ourselves, which is a big part of this whole program, is learning to understand and love ourselves, to come back home to ourselves, to our deepest truth of who we are. And then I have one more exercise on top of the traditional journaling that we do, as just a bonus if you guys want, and it's the Ho'oponopono. And this is a Hawaiian prayer. And this is really beautiful because they had a bunch of prisoners who had committed acts of violent crime. and they had got the prisoners to actually practice this prayer. And a lot of people really healed, and a lot of these people were actually able to be released from prison. And so this is a very powerful prayer. I have used it many times in my life, especially in moments when I was feeling like I had really did myself dirty, like when I had really did myself dirty, or when somebody else had really fucking hurt me. And so the prayer is shit. Okay, give me a second. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And you're just going to repeat that over. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I know it feels stupid at first. But usually about like the 15th or 20th time that you start chanting that, you start to release grief. And this is really important for healing, like illness, disease, moving forward in your life, is we have to learn to feel grief and move through grief, and we've not been taught. And this is a great way to bring up grief and to purge. And so you're just going to chant that over and over again. Of course, this is all going to be in your guys' books down below. And it doesn't matter who you're forgiving, right? It doesn't matter who you're asking sorry. It doesn't matter who you're saying I love you to. It can be you. It can be somebody else. It could be the creator. It does not matter. It is a powerful prayer, very powerful prayer. So there's going to be the 3 assignments this week, including the journaling. And again, that's all going to be down below. But yeah, self-acceptance and acceptance of others is so fucking important for this journey, you guys, moving forward, because this is where empathy and compassion is built. And the only way that we can develop empathy and compassion is if we've first felt empathy and compassion for ourselves. If we don't know how to do that for ourselves, we cannot do that for the collective. And the whole point of this program is I want you guys to reconnect to yourselves so that you can actually reconnect to life and actually participate in life and with others in a healthy manner. And so if we can't learn to love ourselves, accept ourselves, and we're constantly judging ourselves and hating on ourselves, then of course you're never going to be able to love somebody else, accept somebody else the way that they are. I hold yes and consciousness and duality consciousness very well, which is yes, you can do hateful crimes, and yes, you can also not be a bad person. Holding that type of duality takes a lot of practice, and you will get really good at it when you can start learning to hold duality within yourself. If you have done things in your life that you are ashamed of, I'm telling you right now, learning to accept that and go, I did not know better. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. If you cannot forgive yourself for the things that you have done wrong, the things that you're ashamed of, the things that you feel guilty of, the things that you hate about yourself, then you're never going to actually be able to fully connect with others. Because you'll never be able to fully see the full capacity and totality of others if you can't feel it and see it within yourself. If you can't recognize that there's a quote unquote bad guy and good guy within you, we all do. I hate using that word because I don't believe in good and bad people. I just believe in people. People having certain experiences that create certain behaviors. I believe that people really have a real lack of love in their life. And that lack of love comes from a lack of acceptance, because we have been taught that who we are as humans, our desires, our emotions, our needs, our wants, for some reason we've been taught are unworthy of love, undeserving of love. And that's just simply not true. And so in order for us to connect with the world and others, we have to connect with ourselves. And we do this through self-acceptance and self-forgiveness. And then hopefully we can learn to accept others and forgive others. And this is how we create harmony, not only within ourselves, within the world. So that being said, you guys, it's time to start loving ourselves. All right. I think that's it. Sorry, this video was so awkward. Okay, bye.